Hello everyone and welcome to the Mordheim Faction Chronicles. My name is Karond and we're here to watch the very first game. I'm not going to cast too many games in this tournament. I'm gonna have a lot of things to do with administration as it is, and we also have some excellent streamers for this tournament. Kiddenpaw and Greybush, as well as Marlos, who's going to cast and review a lot of the games going on. For now, here we are at cycle 1. This tournament takes place in 4 cycles. Each cycle is 4 PvP games, and we're here for the very first game of the very first cycle, looking at Azaro, who we will be following in this game, taking on Wotan5. It's gonna be an interesting game. See what they can do. Azaro, as you can see, he has... oh, he took it away here, but he has Wordstone Rush to complete, while Wotan5 has picked Crush Their Will. We're gonna see how they do that. Excuse the little picture here, but it depends on the upload speed of the player in question. You can see that we no longer have an overlay, because Steam has allowed players to view games in full screen now for the first time. So here we are. It means we're not gonna following the score, but hopefully it's going to be alright as it is. There we see it, Wordstone Rush for Azaro. You can take a look in the top left corner of the screen. You can see that he has a slight morale advantage against his opponent. There we have 98 to 68. We don't really know why Wotan is picking up the Wordstone here. Maybe to deny Azaro the opportunity to get it, but that seemed like... Wonder if he might be in the open here right away. It's a close map. We see another Possessed coming in. You see, that's an unfortunate effect of Steam here. It's not really worked out all the bugs, and of course it's also about the players themselves need to set up their Steam settings, so we're gonna have small interruptions here. I hope we don't have too many in this game. You can see that Azaro has really adjusted down here the settings to allow us to watch this game. And the more games we get to watch, the better. He has a very interesting team. So in Modern Faction Chronicles here, you can start with a full 10 team, because you start with a level 5 warband at level 0, and you can pick whatever units you want. The objectives are very important. You play as a team in this tournament, so all the sisters players play together as a team, and they cannot face each other, and they're trying to complete objectives together. So if you complete one Wordstone Rush, one Crush Their Will, and one Marked for Death, the faction levels up and they get their own unique bonuses. So it's good here to get going straight away, and unlike all of the other sisters players, I don't think Azaro has not gone with a maiden, which almost everyone else has. Instead, he has double Wolf Priest and double Smugglers to take advantage of the DLC rules compared to all the other progression tournaments. They are available from the start, and he has made maximum use of that. It's going to be interesting to follow, see what these units can do and the combination between them. And it is a very unique way of handling it. They can all heroes can be used for ranged, and it seems like that's going to be the case. 2 shooting smugglers, Wolf Priests who can cast offensive magic if they want to, as well as the Matriarch. So it's a warband that's going to rely on the henchmen to keep opposing units away while they are whittled down from range. Gonna see what Wotan is going to do here. He's playing as Cult of the Possessed, and we already saw 2 Possessed, which is kind of an odd choice, I have to say. There is a specific rule here in this tournament, which is saying that yes, you have to start with level 0 units, but you can also get hired swords, and you can only get a specific hired sword in cycle 1, which is one of the first heroes, and for the cult that is the Possessed unit. So you would think that he would actually want to get a hired sword Cult of the Possessed, a hired sword Possessed. I mean, if you are going to use possessed units, you might as well get the early advantage of the leveling process and getting some high level possessed instead of having the 2 level zeros. But Wotan has done it like this instead. Maybe he just wants to check what the first mutation is for each of them. You can do that in just 1 game, or at least 2 games. So these players play this on exhibition, and they do have 1 PvE against the AI, the computer, or the game itself in between each game. I haven't seen Azaro in quite a while here, so it's nice to have him back in the community. And Wotan5, when I talked to him before the tournament, he was really excited for this tournament itself because it was so big, and hoping that it will enable him to show off his skills. He is a player that has played in some of the level 10 tournaments way down in the past, but stopped participating around 2.5 years ago, and he had actually deleted the game and reinstalled the game just to play in this tournament. So we're gonna see what he can do as well. It's gonna be fun to follow Azaro in this tournament. I hope you're gonna catch the various streams here, and remember that both Kirenpaw and Greybush, at least Kirenpaw has his YouTube channel, so you can see the games there forever. While on Twitch they are unfortunately temporary, which is why I'm going to jump in as well and do a few casts here and there when there are lots of games going on at the same time. You can join mid-tournament in this tournament, and that's gonna draw up a lot of players. Currently we have 36 players playing here, which is a lot. Remember that for most of these kind of tournaments you tend to end up with like 15-16 players.
A new round has started.
This is the biggest Mordheim tournament that has ever been created, and I'm so happy that it's going well already at the start. Another interruption. Editing those out. Let's see. So we do know a mutant and 2 possessed. What could the 4th hero be here? A very popular choice is the Poison Wind Globadier among the destruction side. They're very powerful early on, and considering the positioning here by Azaro, he's like clumped up all of his units with the Matriarch in the center, presumably to cast Sigmar's Might. But it also means that with a single Poison Globe you can get a lot of units hit by that. And they do a considerable amount of damage. But it is Azaro has done the first blood here. I don't know really why he's picking up all of these word stones. It must be something that is trying to deny the objective to Azaro, because remember he had crushed the will. So it's going to be 4 cycles, 4 games each. That's a total of 16 PvPs for each player, and they can play how many games they want to. We play 1 each week, so we know how the progression is going, and from there on out it's the playoffs with the 4 best teams. Picking up even more Wordstone. Well, the fear is here that he might be bringing the Wordstone to Azaro. Let's see what he does with this possessed here. Yeah, he's pulling back a little bit. He doesn't want to engage into the main warband. Might also have brought him a Rauder, or a Doomweaver could also be an option. Or another mutant. We're gonna see. He's really pulling back. You can see that. Wow. So he's taking all of the Wordstone and pulling back behind the wall. Do we get to see a Sigmar's Might? You see they do play on the scavengers map, which means that one team is a little bit scattered near their wagon in a building, and that seems to have been Wotan5. But it just takes one turn to regroup here, and dealing out some ranged damage himself. So we do see a Globadier. You know, one of the main... Oh yeah, he's actually even done a little bit of damage there, didn't he? Sarconval. No, that might have been the Magister. I'm getting a little bit off here. So 9 more word stones left for Azaro to pick up if he wants to complete the objective. I don't really know how he's gonna get Crush the Will on this map. I mean, it's a relatively close starting positions, and it's a wise move for the scavengers. There is a veto system in place for this tournament, which means that one player picks the map and then vetoes 5 of 10 predetermined deployments, and the other player then picks one of the remaining 5 deployments. Looking here for some units. We do see one of the possessed here, so he pulled back with one of them, but not the second one. So gonna lure him into, while a parry stance is not gonna help against the possessed. Might be in an ambush stance. Okay, so he goes to a parry stance here. Sorry for all the time jumps here due to Steam loading. The connection is not solid, but at least we get to see the game as it is. And ranged is, while it is usually weaker earlier on, with 10 units, it can be a bit strong because you can do a little bit of skirmishing. Remember that there is not too much in the way of movement for any of these teams just yet. And he can shoot. Can he get a better shot off than that? No, he cannot, and he misses a 94 against 66. Wotan5 seems to be a little bit all over the place, so maybe Azaro can make use of that. You see he plays in the black powder trap there, and I hope he doesn't put one of his units near that, so the enemy is the only one that takes the damage. Might we see an attack here? That was unfortunate. It's not when we want this to occur. So you see he did a bit of damage. Is he gonna get off? No, he did a charge here. Does he want to disengage? Remember that the possessed unit cannot disengage, so this is the time when Wotan really needs to do something. Might be losing fast here. Yes, he is. So losing the first possessed. And that's a 1-0 to Azaro. And he can't really afford that. These units, I mean, look at the morale here. There are not too many left that he can be allowed to lose. 29, there should be around 3 more units before having to take a route test. As good as that black powder trap was, you do wonder if those henchmen of Azaro's don't just want to chase after the Magister with the bow. Might have been a good choice. Misses one of the charges here. It's also crucial early on in the game because losing a charge, losing an attack, making a dodge stance here and there, it matters a whole lot. Because these units cannot take too much damage. There's a lot of units coming up here from Azaro. That's a poor ambush. You could just walk into him. He does. Cancelling the ambush. Doing 45 damage. Wow. This is the unit I was talking about. Maybe she wants to chase after the Magister instead. Getting some ranged hit chance. Unfortunately of no use. I'm not saying this is entirely bad, it's trying to block off the Magister from coming out into where the fight is happening around the Dead Possessed and the Dark Soul. Remember that there is a Possessed just behind this wall that's going to pop up as well, who should have 2 negative Warp Stone effects from picking up that Word Stone. Some other games are always going to be like this with the constant interruptions due to the settings. But as the tournament goes on, people are going to be better at setting their settings and we're going to have less interruptions. Still looks like it's very tough for Wotan here to do much. He has been caught off guard. It's going to be his turn after this Wolf Priest and it's time for him to step up and do some real damage now. Maybe Gurno could actually go after the Magister. I think that would be a good choice. Seems to be a bit indecisive here. Oh, that is not good. Going into an ambush stance here. Wow. That is a waste of
a new round has
two perfectly good attacks that he could have been using. Here comes the Possessed. A little bit worried about what the Globadier is going to do. I think he has a very good shot here of landing it in the middle of the Sisters of Sigmar units. I think that's what he's going to do. Also have the Mutant, of course. Let's see if we come back. Yes, we do. We do see the Mutant moving around here. Seems to be aware of the ambush as well, isn't he? So you're gonna trigger it. He seems to have a... yeah, he has a shield and a sword. How much damage does he do? He does a respectable amount of damage. There might be a purple one. Might be a good reason to actually be shield and one-handed. Usually people do two-handed weapons early on because of the 5 red pills. That equalizes the score a little bit, but you can see that the morale advantage here for the Sisters of Sigmar is going to allow them to take more casualties without a route test. Doing a tiny little bit of damage extra here, it's not too much. Per hit. But it's more the critical hit chance here, and manages to take the lead once more. So we have one henchman dead for both sides, as well as one hero for Wotan, who is gone. Here we go, time for the Magister and the Globadier to really do something. As all of those ambushes were for naught there. Remember, he spent 2 units to putting themselves in ambush, covering the door exits, hoping to catch the Magister, and then he did not do that. It needs to be more proactive with his units, Azaro. Basic weapon destruction, see if he suffers something. Yes, he does. Cinch Latch. So he is stuck rooted to that spot without any blue or red pills. And here comes the Globadier. What can he do? He seems to be having Warplock pistols, yeah, he does. And we're back once more. Really hoping we're gonna get a lot higher quality as the tournament goes on. I can definitely guarantee it. This is the low end of the quality as far as the video content goes. Video quality as well as interruptions. We do see a poison globe here. We don't really know how many units he hit with that globe. Seems to be 2 of them. Well, that is not good. There seems to be a white mace, and this is what we talked about with the mutant. Like the mutant makes perfect sense. If you have a purple sword, and then you can just go with a shield as well. But you could also just go with a purple sword and a white weapon, and you do even more damage. And that's probably what would have been a much better choice here for Wotan. And instead, we see a lot of his units going with white shields and a normal weapon. That means that they do less damage than many of the other units equipped with two-handed weapons. But it also seems to be a little bit of a thing for at least one of the units of... no, it doesn't seem to be that. No. Azaro doesn't seem to have made that mistake too much, except with the Sister Superior. There we have two-handed axe. You see most of the units here are two-handed. It's a good shot. Fails the all-alone check. That could be very heavy for her. Let's see, another attack coming in. And managed that, but she's gonna run into the cloud. And wow, yeah, she actually died from that. Wow, that was unlucky. She could probably have taken a little bit less damage. That must have been almost maximum damage. Moves into the cloud. $59.64 is still not enough to kill Korbol. And misses the attack as well, but the Wolf Priest is gonna do something on that account. It's very strange with the Warplock pistols. We didn't really see that here, but using the Poison Wind Globe that cost you 3 red pills, since it's a level 0 Globadier, he can't shoot with the Warplock pistols. He needs a pair of shuriken to shoot with them, so it's very odd by Wotan to pick that. That means he can only do one thing, otherwise you can at least do a shot as well as the Poison Wind Globe. And we're back once more. He needs to do some damage here before he goes down. Oh, wow, that's a decent note. You see, this is the kind of difference in damage. Like, if you're only gonna do one attack, look at this. This Korbol guy, he has a white Great Axe, does 45 damage. Compare that to the white Mace Dark Sword to the right here, he only did 25 with his attack. And the extra defense you do get from a white shield is really not enough to warrant the difference in damage. That was Steiner. Is she trying to block the entrance here, or what is she doing? Okay, protecting the smuggler. Time for Gernot Throwback to actually come in and do something. Strategically, it looks a little bit dark for Wotan5 just because of the morale difference. And loses another unit here, so He's 11 morale away from taking a route test.
A new round has started.
And remember here that since this is level 0 for most of these units, that means that it's 9 morale for a henchman loss and 12 for a hero loss. So you can't really afford one of the heroes, but he does have the Dark Souls Steiner there still being locked. Okay, that triggers. 3% chance of a critical hit, did not land that. That's lucky for Ingwas. Not suffering from the ambush attack either. He needs to do a lot of damage here coming up. What is Wotan going to do? We haven't really seen this possess since he went off and hid behind him. So he's gone off towards the other part of the wall. Remember, he went in at the far right side here. Has been buffed with the basic weapon of destruction. Going to do a charge. And did 54 damage. Well, yeah, he didn't really miss much. He only got one attack, did 54 damage. Well, failing the fear test, that's going to be good for the hit chances here. The problem now is that there is a hero unit of Wotan that can be focused fire down and does not have it. Manages to dodge here. That's lucky, but still it's going to be another attack, and he could possibly kill him off. No, he misses that as well. Wow, that was lucky. The parry stance won't do anything against the possessed, but Azaro goes for the higher number regardless. He needs some help here. It's a risky business managing the route tests coming in. And he needs to do so much more damage to Azaro to force the route test, like 41 morale. He needs 4 kills here. Might start here with Humbert Bechtoldsson. Ah, misses the 84. That's yeah, it's not really going his way. Maybe we can poison him with the poison wing globadier. It is a matter of RNG here early on in the game, but you do want to maximize the amount of damage you do as well. And you can see there's a bit of a damage difference between these two warbands. Like the Globadier only having 1 attack available to him. Some of the Dark Souls, well, most of the Dark Souls with the exception of one of them, only having a white shield and a one-handed weapon. Even the Mutant himself had that. Wow, that's a lot of hits. That was very nice. 2 managed poison resistance checks too. So he could have used, you know, a single shot as well. Every single bit of damage helps. There are lots of units coming up here for Azaro. So there is going to be a route check, almost definitely here. See another one with a sword and a shield. Using a charge and missing. No units have been able to charge into this position. Not from Wotan or from Azaro the entire game. It's been very remarkable how often they missed their charges. We're going to witness the onslaught here of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 units of Azaro. Does a little bit of damage here with a charge. The one-handed weapon again. Yeah, might be a good idea too. So you're gonna reload. So who are you gonna shoot at? The mutant. And misses. Plenty more damage where that came from. So So that's gonna mean just a single attack. If he has... it looks like it might be 2 attacks here. I think he has... no. Has gone with 2 weapons. 2 weapons. And why wouldn't you? I mean, it does do more damage. Could see Witold here going down if he's unlucky. No, he does not. Has 3 wounds left remaining. I feel a little bit that this game has been Azaro being grouped up with his warband very nicely, and Wotan coming at him piecemeal, like a few units at a time. And that has really sealed his incoming doom here. Well, we seem to have a unit lost. Saw the wolf priest lying dead there from the poison, no doubt. Let's see what the last wolf priest does. Managing the poison resistance like a champion. Has a bonus towards fear, so it's a good for him. We're gonna land that kill, forcing a route test out of Wotan. What else can he do? He could go into that dark soul tying up his smuggler. Can he get in there? Yeah, he actually can get in on the mutant. Wow. But he's lucky with the dodge roll. Remember that I think that mutant, yeah, it looked like he had a helmet on, and he doesn't start with too much in the way of leadership, so his all alone check should be pretty poor, and I don't think he can survive on all alone check. Good move up the initiative ladder here. Manages a stun as well, so he's not gonna get his own attack off. Let's see. Route test coming in here for the mutant. Can Wotan survive this? And if he does, how can he turn it around? Needs to be with the Globadier, I feel. The poison wind globes is the only thing that's gonna keep him up. And he does manage the route test. 32% chance. Fails all alone check. Alright, so let's see here. Oh, he misses. 84% hit chance. He misses that attack. Ingwas would have been dead. But he lost the turn here for the mutant, and he's pretty hurt. If he sends after the wolf priest, he will probably confirm the kill. I don't think that's really worth it. Like if you have white weapons, for instance, that only does 1 to 2 extra damage per round. For the added risk of this, I don't think it's worth it. Even for the extra crit chance. Might see a kill coming in here. Are we? There we go. Yeah, he did a kill, and consequent leadership failures. That was a win for Azaro. Again, sorry about the quality, but that's just how it is. Hope you enjoyed watching this very first game, 5-3, and no objectives for either side. See you in future games. Farewell for now.